but we're talking about how do you love yourself? I believe really this, I've broken this down into three categories. When we're talking about taking care of ourselves and fulfilling those given needs so that we have things to give out, so we can serve and minister to others, we have to take in. There's that saying about you can't serve on an empty love tank. You can't give what you don't got inside. And that's so often true. If we don't have it inside of us, we can't give it. And so what do we do? I think this involves really three things when we're thinking about taking care of ourselves. It means that we need to have some fun in our life. And I talked before about a happy list. We're not going to talk about that today. We need to use those God-given gifts, talents, and abilities He's given us to serve others. And that's preparing for our future, or else just continuing to develop our own gifts and talent. That might be in a job, it might be in education, it might be in reading that you do, it might be in serving in certain types of positions or communities, it might be developing crafts that you love. I don't know, but doing those things that develop your future, develop your God-given gifts and abilities. But today we're going to talk about one part of this, developing yourself, and that's a need for friends. God tells us in the Bible, I like what Proverbs 18:24 says. It says, friends come and go, but a true friend sticks like a brother. It also tells us in other places that we need friends because they can give us advice. They can share with us. They can share and carry our burdens. That two people are stronger than just one walking by yourself. We talk about iron sharpens iron. That means one person can it's sometimes much easier to hear something from a friend than it is to hear from your husband. Or something that you might need to help. You might need to help fix or something. You might need to oh, that's kind of like sticky. So how do we do this? Just say, making friends is sometimes easy for some people. If you're a socializer, you don't have any trouble making friends. Fact is, you may have to curb some of that time you spend with friendship. If you're an extrovert, you may have to curb the time you spend with other people because you're spending so much time with other people, you don't have time to maybe to get exercise, or you don't have time to, excuse me a minute. If you're an extrovert, you might not have time to do things for yourself. But then you can include some of that extroversion things like exercising with a group of friends. You can spend time reading the Word or studying the Bible with friends if you're an extrovert. And I don't know why that's happening today, folks, but it is there. It's allergy season in Texas where I am. So I will try to keep going on. We're talking about our friends. And if you're an introvert, it's probably a little harder to make friendship, particularly if you've been through the pandemic of this last year. You spent all this time alone. I've been talking with one gal, she's a single gal, and she's gone to work throughout the pandemic. But then all of her time was curtailed to being at home. And she essentially left all of her friends. She had no more friendship. And so learning to get out and be with people again is a big challenge for her. Sorry. Lord, we give this time to you. It's yours. And no, I'm not sick. I have allergies. Yay! Allergies. So, you might be an introvert. You might move all the time, or your friends have moved. I know with 26 years as a military spouse, um, my friends kept moving. I'd make some good friends, and then they'd often move one summer because people move about every 3 years in the military. Sometimes more often, the further up in rank you go. And I am just frustrated to the daylights with this, folks, and I don't know what to do about it, but this is what we have. So, we're going to go on. Maybe you're just pure and simply too busy. I talked with another gal, and I said, what are you doing? I'm spending time with friends. She had 3 kids. Her husband was busy working. He worked shifts, so he was home sometimes, not home sometimes. She had a lot of commitments at church, and she had no time to get with friends, she thought. And yet, I'm sorry about this, folks. And just excuse me a minute. I'm going to have to take a break. I will be right back. Hang on. Okay. I am so sorry, folks. I have never had to do that in the middle of one of these Facebook Lives before, and I am sorry about that, but I had to go get me a tissue. So, anyway, we're talking about friends. Some people have trouble making friends. Maybe you're too busy and you don't have the time. So, let me talk about a couple things. One, I'm going to talk about what friendship dating is. I want to talk about making that if you're having problems making friends, how do you actually make friends? And then woman to woman time, setting aside time in your schedule to be with friends. And then there's also the way to make friends with couples. If you're married, you can get together with other people as couples and do some of that. So let's talk about how do you make friendship. First off, it's going to involve several parts. If you have trouble making friends, I suggest first off, you got to get out with people. If you've been stuck in the house with COVID or some other thing, and you've been stuck there and you haven't gotten out, you need to get out with other people. I highly recommend this over groups on Facebook or something like that. Because yes, that's good when you can't get out, but you really need that contact with other people. Joining a church Bible study, whether it's a ladies' Bible study that meets in the evening like mine does, or in the morning like I've gone to for years, or maybe you go to, I've gone to a line dancing group and I'm meeting people there. Maybe you go to a book club. I'm speaking to a book club tomorrow night via Zoom, which is kind of fun. But we're talking about different ways of meeting people. I used to meet a lot of people when my kids were little because they'd be outside playing and I'd talk with the neighbors. Or I'd meet them at a sports field when they're standing on the sideline talking to the other moms as the kids were playing sports. We met them at church and sometimes in group Bible studies, couples evening studies, and the people would be coming to our home for Bible study. But however you meet them, I want to suggest that first off, you're praying as you go. If you don't have a friend, or you have maybe too few friends, and you feel like you need, I suggest you try to look for 3 friends if you can. Sometimes God gives those to you, and sometimes He doesn't. Okay, that's just the way it is. But pray for these 3 friends and ask God to lead you. So we're going to start off with one. Is to go into a room, pray, and ask the Lord to show you someone that you could talk to. I'll give you an example here. I was just new to a new community, and I'd gone to a large ladies' Bible study on the military base, and I just couldn't figure out. They were offering all different kinds of Bible studies, and it was time for sign up, and I couldn't figure out where I belonged or where to go. So I stood back a ways, and I just said, Lord, show me where I need to go to find some friends or where to be. And so this one gal looked up at me and she just said, smile. She says, "Hey, Joyce," because I had my name tag on. And I thought, well, maybe that's my intro, Lord. So I walked over and I started talking to her. Her name was Terry. She said, "Why don't you come to my Bible study?" She invited me to do something. So I signed up for a Bible study. Well, it turned out over time, Terry and I became really good friends. But first off, I had to act on that prompting of the Lord to go talk with someone. So pray about that. Ask the Lord to show you who you might talk to. Then see if you can, that's number one. Number two, see if you can carry on a simple conversation. Can you talk to this person for a couple of minutes, 5 minutes? And then I decided to go to her Bible study, which would be one way of getting to know her. Or if you feel like maybe you could take a next step, you could say, "Hey, would you mind putting your phone number in my phone, or can I get your phone number? And I'd like to text you this week and see if we can't get together over a cup of coffee, maybe for a soda, maybe at the playground, wherever, but someplace in public." This is very similar if you're dating to find a husband or a man that you want to be with. But we do it for finding girlfriends. First off, you act on that instinct, that prompting of the Lord to talk to someone. Second thing, you see if you can carry on a simple 2 to 5 minute conversation. And then third thing is you try to get a phone number or a way to contact them so that you can arrange to meet in public someplace else. And this time, maybe you're going to meet for 20 minutes or you're going to meet for an hour. Do it in public. It's much easier to be able to walk away or to feel safe if you don't feel safe with this person. And sometimes, gals, I don't feel safe with another woman. Um, Not that she's going to attack me or be sexually attracted. I'm not talking anything like that, but I don't feel like I could. There's something in my spirit that says she's not a person I could open up to. I couldn't really share what's really happening in my heart and soul with her. And so that's kind of the woman I'm looking for, is the woman that I can really share with in some way. Whether it's we share the fun of an activity together, or we share prayer requests, or we're going to share in a Bible study. So you find someone that you can talk to over, for 20 minutes to an hour. If you do, you like that, then plan another time to get together. But Joyce, she doesn't do it. I know. We are so out of the habit of making friends because we've got all this social media stuff and we're so busy that we don't take the time to develop friendship. So, gals, you've got to take the initiative. Yes, even if you're introverted like I am, you have to step out and take the initiative to go find friends. I have to force myself sometimes to arrange my schedule to make time for a ladies' Bible study. And then I have purposefully started going early to this study so that I could spend some time talking one-on-one with some people and get to know them better. And in that process, I have made some friends. But it takes work. It doesn't just happen. Particularly, it will if you're an extrovert. Like our son said, he goes to school the first time in a new school, came home and says, I won't know anybody, Mom, I don't want to go. He comes home that day and said, how many people do you know? He says, everybody. And he was right. He did know everybody because he's an extrovert. But not me. I'm looking for one person to make that friendship with. And then if you get together, then you find ways to keep getting together on a regular basis. Maybe it's once a month. Let's talk about that, how we take it from meeting this friend to going to woman time. Woman to woman time, if you have a very busy schedule, you're either a stay-at-home mom with kids running all over the place, you're working part-time and taking care of things at home, or you're working full-time and taking care of kids at home, or maybe you're just working full-time and the kids are gone and you're an empty nester, or maybe you're an empty nester and you've moved and it's suddenly just like, oh, I don't know what to do with myself. I suggest woman to woman time. This started out because our husband decided to have man time with our two sons every Saturday when he was home, every Saturday morning. And man time was Dad and the two boys went to do something that was manly. I mean, they go for a hike. They taught him how to play street hockey on, wasn't roller skates, what are those? Inline skates. They shoot basketballs. They did all kinds of manly things. And so he took them to go do things by themselves. And I thought, if he can plan to have time with the guys, I need woman to woman time. And I just kind of said it out of just stuff. I need it. Well, I found out that this is very much a way that other women get together, is with woman to woman time. And I had to purposely plan that at least once a week, I was going to make time to spend with another woman. Now, with the pandemic, sometimes it's had to be on my phone. Sometimes it's had to be in a group I have. I have a mastermind group of other authors and speakers, and we get together twice a month. But it's better when we can meet in person. And I've discovered I have to be the one, first off, to put it on my calendar, and second off, to pick up the phone and text someone or call someone and arrange a time to get together. But Joyce, why do I always have to do it? I don't know why. Except that most people are scared to do it. Most people think they're infringing on someone else. Or they think, but I can tell you the real truth is we're lonely. We haven't developed those close friendships. And the Bible tells us we need friends. Yes, you need to take care of your husband's needs. And yes, you need to spend time with going on dates and things with him. But you also need girlfriends. Why? Because the guys, your husband, aren't going to talk about the same